Nice, professional. Right, I'm here with Duncan.
Hiya.
We're at Star Wars Fan Fun Day in Blackburn.
Yep.
It's a lovely day. We're looking out at the pitch. But how is the day for you so far?
Well, I've had my back to the outside and the sun. So, but apart from that, it's been great.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet the fans and just to be here.
Do you get too many events?
Events like this?
Yeah.
Now and again.
Yeah.
When I get asked, I go.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy them?
Yes. I like I say, for me, being a part of the Star Wars universe it comes with a certain level of responsibility. So it's nice to meet the fans and to hear that they've enjoyed what it is that you've done and been involved in. So, and it's nice for them to hear a wee bit about what takes place when we're doing the work.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the role of Melchi, how did it come to you? How did it develop into what it became? Obviously through Rogue One and into Andor.
Well, you'd have to. No, that's a question for the executive producer, Tony Gilroy. It's not a question for me. The character developed in Tony's mind, which turned into script, which turned into a phone call to come and be involved, and I will do anything that guy asks me. So that's how I ended up where I am.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So running off Rogue One, I mean, obviously Rogue One was a blow-up, mind-blowing success, billion-dollar film. Nobody expected. I was going to say Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expected more from that because of that sort of wall bunch ending. But then Andor comes along, and you're involved in Andor, of course. So how did that come to you as an actor? How did that roll along?
How did it come along? Well, I was getting ready in 2020 to go to South America to travel to the Amazon.
Nice.
And just before I left, I had a call from my agent who said, we've had a call from the office of Nina Gold, who said you should have a chat with Tony Gilroy because Andor is going into production and Tony has some plans for you. So give him a call. So I gave Tony a phone call and he said, well, I was just about to give you a call. He told me his plans for the series, for the character. I told him I was off in the Amazon. He said, come back in one piece.
Yeah.
Of course, I went in the Amazon. While I was in the Amazon, the pandemic happened.
Right.
So,
is that a good place to be during the pandemic or a bad place to be?
Well, I got home, but it's not a good place to be when you go in there thinking you're going to come out and start filming, Andor, and to come out and find that instead of doing what you thought you were going to be doing, that the whole world has shut down.
Yeah.
But I made it home in one piece, and we all went through together what we had to go through, and it was good to know much later than anticipated that the show went into production, and just to be involved was a gift, and I cannot take my hat off enough to the producers, the crew, the directors, everybody who was involved, from top to bottom, to make that show during the COVID pandemic. I think to make a show like that anyway is something, maybe if you saw the detail, what goes into making something like that. And I think of them making that show during the pandemic with the testing that we had to do it blows my mind that you even have a show to watch.
Are you aware of how well regarded that show is amongst the fandom?
Well, yes. Yes, from being here, from coming to places like this. But I think also because, I grew up a Star Wars fan. So, I'm a Star Wars fan. So, I know what I like. And I think when Tony first told me of his plans for the show, how he saw these parts of the Star Wars universe and the plans he had in place, and then it's Tony Gilroy. So when he tells you his plans, and then that he's going to be the guy that's going to be overseeing and implementing those plans. Then for me, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be something really special. And I don't always watch the things that I'm in. But I watched Andor.
Right.
And for me, who has been a fan of the franchise since 1977, the first, A New Hope came out the year I was born. The first film I saw in the cinema was Return of the Jedi. So
It's amazing how many people came in on Jedi.
Yeah.
You see it all the time.
yeah, and then so I know what I like.
Yeah.
And when I watched Andor, I was as blown away as everybody else was, and I'm anticipating season 2
Yeah.
with the same level of anticipation as the fans. I think it's going to be something really special.
When you watch yourself, just as an aside question, you say you don't generally watch yourself, but when you watch yourself, even though it's in Star Wars, which you're invested in as a fan beyond being an actor, can you kind of step out of it and just kind of forget that that's actually me as that guy? Can you just step out of that for the time being?
Yes, I think with Rogue One, I sort of spoiled that movie for myself because it was the first time I'd been involved.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the universe that you're used to watching, all of a sudden you're a wee bit behind.
Sure.
The fourth wall sort of opens up.
Yeah.
And so with Rogue One, I distracted myself from that movie. But as time has passed,
Yeah.
I see exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But with Andor, for some reason, maybe it was because I was involved in it, I didn't have that same experience. I didn't have that same experience of not being immersed in it, And I think that's maybe because of the claustrophobia of filming those prison scenes.
I was going to ask about not getting
made me feel like we were in prison. So when I watched it, I wasn't going, we filmed that and that was here. That I was in prison.
Yeah.
Filming that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have that same experience. So I watched that as somebody who could lose themselves in the overall, the overall production, rather than as someone who's watching themselves pretend to be someone else. It was a different experience for me.
I mean, watching the films going all the way back, there's always been these great set pieces, moments. The best being scenes in Empire, whatever, locations, and then you get Narkina 5, which outside of just people who are watching Andor became the thing. We just heard Dunny shouting, one way out and all that stuff. It's become its own thing, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. For you as an actor to be identified with that whole sequence and all the performers that you work with, that must be pretty damn cool as well.
Wow, come on, we could get really sort of. So I'm 13 years a sort of practicing Buddhist, so I don't even really associate myself with the body.
Right. Okay.
No. So what I mean is, I'm hugely grateful to be a part of the production, but I don't come away and go, take any sort of gratification.
Sure.
I feel that whole thing was created by a mind that I can't comprehend.
Yeah.
And so to have been a part of it, I'm so grateful for the people that created that opportunity.
Yeah.
But I don't sit here and go, "Wow, man, I was a part of that thing," because I think if you do, then you're going to kind of get a wee bit lost as a human being and as an actor.
Yeah.
I think it's for me it has been a gift to be a part of the Star Wars universe and to have been a part of something that obviously has such resonance with fans and people who have been watching the franchise for as long as I have.
Yeah.
But no, I don't go give myself a pat on the back or anything,
No,
because I feel like it is someone else's work that we come and try and sort of give the finishing touches to. So I feel it that way.
Yeah. And final question, obviously, you're in season 2. We know you get out at the back end of season 2 because you're in Rogue One. Without giving anything away, how impressed, how pleased, whatever word you want to use, were you with what was happening in season 2?
I always take my my reaction from the reactions of people I trust, and I have known the team that have the showrunner, the producers, the editors, the directors, everybody, the camera guys, the teams, the crews, the costume designers. I know how precious they are about their work.
Yeah.
And I know that if they aren't enjoying or invested fully in what it is they're doing, you can tell.
Sure.
And the reaction from all of them. And I remember my first day in makeup. And I remember I was in there chatting, and one of the makeup designers, she said, it's going to blow your mind. And I think if you have that experience from somebody who's maybe when you come in and you're getting ready and you're getting prepared, that might not be that's how passionate the whole of the team is. And if they're saying it's going to blow your mind, makeup is saying it's going to blow your mind, it's probably going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for giving us your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.